It's a Classic Metal Show right here on the ClassicMetalShow.com. That is Steel Prophet from their Beware release, and that features Nader the Priest on lead vocal with Leatherette. And just before that, we heard the new studio track from London Live with Get Back Home. And want to wish my friend and brother Nader the Priest happy birthday. It's his birthday today, Chris.
Was he 29?
29, yeah, 29.
I'm sure he's having a Las Vegas birthday party.
I'm sure he is.
Knowing Nader, there's no way he could pass on that fun.
Nader knows how to live, man.
Yeah, he does.
That guy, there's just something about that guy. He's just he's fun to be around. He's a character. Chicks dig him. You know, he's talented. He's just a good dude. He's one of my best friends.
I like Nader. Great guy.
He is a great guy. So happy birthday, Nader.
Yeah, you old fuck.
Yeah, seriously. All right, we'll get to your story that you passed me along. We'll get to that in a little bit.
That's fine.
I'll slot that in with the other stuff I got lined up here.
I just saw this. I was like, you must be fucking kidding me.
Again, it falls right into the whole theme of the show.
Yeah, it does.
Well, what I was going to get into next is that I only got a call here. Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
Hey guys, just a quick docking question for you.
Okay.
You said that Don's recording overseas, and considering you might know what's going on a bit more than the rest of us, is this for a new Dokken record or is it for a solo record?
It's hard to say. He's just recording songs.
Tim, what would you like? Would you like it to... What would you like and why? Would you like a new Dokken record or would you like a different record?
At this point, I guess it doesn't really worry me.
Yeah, me either.
Shame on you, Chris. Why are you treating our friend Tim like that?
Because enough. Enough. We're talking about Nader the Priest and Black History or something right now, not Doc.
Right. All right. Well, anyway, there's your friend again. Hail and Kill caller, you're on the air.
Stupid phone.
Yeah, I hate that when that happens.
What's wrong with you, Tim? What were you saying?
He's not there anymore.
All right.
All right. Well, anyway, last week, our last segment of the show, I found, pretty funny, only because it featured a couple pretty funny guys outside of us.
Oh, yeah.
Anthony Cumia and Joe Rogan.
Sure.
And we kind of commented on their segment there about women and their viewpoint and so on and so forth.
Right.
Well, anyway, there was an article out there called "This is What Catcalling Really Looks Like." Okay. A reporter recently wrote an article titled, "Hey, ladies, cat calls are flattering. Deal with it." Okay. All right. I'm sure that you've seen Warner Brothers cartoons from way back in maybe the 30s or the 40s.
Sure.
Remember how like Bugs Bunny used to dress up as a woman and used to sashay down the street to get some attention, and the character, I don't know, maybe it might have been Elmer Fudd or something. The cartoonist would draw like a wolf head.
Yeah, sure.
And it go, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Remember that? Even way back then in those cartoons.
Right.
And we're talking, 80 years ago.
Right.
And the term wolf was used quite often. You wolf, because they'd be howling and carrying on, and whenever they see an attractive woman.
Right.
This is nothing new.
No.
This has been going on for eons.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just a behavioral thing that's ingrained in the male psyche, I guess. I don't care how advanced we are in our knowledge, in our society, whatever. Normal men are just hardwired to be automatically attracted to hot girls.
Yeah.
I mean, which is why the porn industry thrives.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why strip clubs thrive.
Right.
Which is why...
porn on the internet.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Pornography.
Right.
Which is why certain advertising thrives.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why the Kardashians thrive.
Viagra.
Because of sexuality and whatever, you know?
Right, sure.
So this is nothing new.
Mm-hmm.
So this reporter recently wrote an article titled, "Hey ladies, cat calls are flattering, deal with it." And again, that's just a way of saying, hey, I think you're hot and I'm showing my appreciation for it.
Sure. Okay.
Okay. Now, granted, some guys don't know how to handle themselves or go overboard or maybe make inappropriate gestures or approach women in a very, I don't know, inappropriate way.
Okay.
But they're just taking what comes natural to guys just a step further, and maybe they should throttle it back a little bit. But it's just a natural reaction. Period. That's all it is. It's just a natural reaction.
Look at that foot on the That's the wolf we were talking about.
That's the guy right there. Oh, exactly.
It's great.
That's. I mean, they've been using that in cartoons and graphics for 100 years.
Exactly.
It's nothing new.
Nope.
Well, anyway, according to this article, the fact that this author wrote this article, it angered a lot of people.
Yeah, and by people, you mean women.
Yeah, it didn't anger guys.
Well, guys could care less.
Yeah, it angered a lot of people. In response, other outlets challenged the author's beliefs, calling the practice frightening, disgusting, verbal abuse, and harassment.
Shut up.
Proving the writer wrong, one woman walked silently through the streets of New York City and recorded the entire 10-hour experience.
Okay.
Wearing jeans and a crew neck t-shirt,
Okay.
Shoshana Roberts walks in Soho, Times Square, Harlem, and more Manhattan neighborhoods, and in each she's treated similarly.
Is this girl hot?
Yeah, she's a good-looking girl. She's very shapely.
White chick, black chick, what?
She's kind of a mix.
Okay.
She looks sort of like I don't know. She could have a little bit of Spanish in her.
All right.
She could be black-white mix. She sort of's got that exotic look about her. She's kind of got that olive skin and dark hair.
Could she do with a little bit of Chris in her?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm sorry. That was offensive.
That's very sexist. Yeah, well, see, look at AOR Rocks has got another one in the chat room.
Where's he?
The dancer girl under the spotlight, and the wolf
Right.
is going, "Ow!"
Exactly.
You know, so this is nothing new.
Nope.
So, anyway, this chick, she looks like she could be, you know, she's kind of a mix something.
Right.
You know, she could be Italian, she could be Spanish, she could be mixed black, white. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But anyway, she walks through these New York neighborhoods.
Okay.
And in each instance, she's treated with, "Hey, baby," "God bless," "Damn, girl," "How you doing today?" You know, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Someone acknowledges you for being beautiful, you should say thank you, one person even said.
Yeah.
But while these statements can be perceived as non-threatening and even complimentary, the context in which they're spewed sounds like some guy is just blowing his load all over her as she walks by or something.
Right.
In the context in which they're being spewed It's like she's like walking down the street and she's like in a bukkake party or something.
Right.
These guys are just blowing their loads all over her as she walks by.
Right.
That's the imagery that they're trying to conjure up here, that guys are just got their hard-ons and they're blowing loads on her as she's walking past.
Stupid bitch.
I mean, seriously, that's what they're trying to depict here.
Yeah, of course.
The context in which they're spewed creates an uncomfortable situation.
Does it?
Now, I'm gonna play this video, but the way that they depict this story, it's like guys are out there grabbing her tits and spanking her ass, and that kind of stuff. And not one guy has done anything that's assaulted her.
And they're all just like, "Hey, sexy, how are you?"
Yeah, what's up, baby? What's going on there? Hot stuff, whatever.
All right.
This is harassment.
I'd like to hear somebody say, "What's up, hot stuff?"
Yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
I know.
But according to the way that this thing is written, it's if somebody's actually grabbing her and groping her and all this other kind of stuff, and that's just not happening.
Right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll make a deal now. Even before you play this clip, I'll make a deal now with every lady out there. I will make a solemn oath never to give them any sort of respect or adulation at all for being good looking. But in return, I never again want to be asked to pay for a goddamn thing.
Right.
Because that's the trade-off. Yeah, we're definitely... Why do women have a problem accepting the fact that, yes, we want to fuck them? Why is that such a fucking dastardly thought?
Well, because you're not looking beyond the physical. They have minds,
Yeah, you know what? And that's fine. And maybe that is what I'm looking past. Maybe I don't want that. Or maybe I do. But that's my decision to make, not some bitches.
Yeah, but they're not here to placate your selfish, animalistic needs.
You know what's as equally telling as this conversation? Have you seen the video of the guy that he rolls up in a Lamborghini and girls just come up and start talking to him?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's the same fucking concept.
Well, but there was another one. There was a guy who basically was walking around. I saw this on I can't remember. It was on either YouTube or something, where a guy was basically approaching girls who were, very attractive,
right,
and trying to speak to them, and they were just blowing him off right and left.
Right.
Well, then he started talking to this attractive girl, and as a setup,
right,
one of his friends was acting like a homeless guy,
right,
and came up and said, "Hey, can you spare a dime?"
Yeah.
Well, this guy reaches into his pocket and pulls out a wad of bills,
right,
and starts counting out maybe like a couple $100,
right,
and gives it to the homeless guy,
right,
and that girl's attitude turned 180 degrees around.
Right, because Lord knows you can't say anything that they might perceive as negative, but they'll sure as fuck take your money.
Well, that's the thing. So as soon as he whips out this whole roll of bills and counts off $200 and 20s to the homeless guy, the perceived homeless guy,
exactly, she
all of a sudden is interested.
Yeah. And
then he said, "See," he said, "you just thought I was a rich guy." He goes, "Fuck you, bitch," and he walked away.
That's the way, and you know what? At this point, that's the way it really has to be.
I know.
I'm in that boat right now. All this feminazi bullshit. I mean, we could do this story or 400 others exactly like it. Fuck all these chicks.
Right.
Every single one of them are just useless fucking cunts.
Right.
That's really what they are. They're just useless. None of them. You know why none of them get any respect? Because they don't fucking act in a way to get it, to earn it.
Right.
They want it, but they don't earn it. And there's something to be said for being able to fucking deal with advances of a guy and working your way into a relationship. Everything doesn't have to be handed to you just because you're a fucking chick. You're not that fucking important. You're just not.
I guess I'm learning on the fly, I guess.
You're in a mall, you're walking down the thing, you think some chick is hot. You do the ring scan, no ring. You go right up to her and say, hey, sweetie, pumpkin, sweet tits, darling sweetie. Yeah, why don't you give me some wings there, licorice tits? Mead wench. Bring me another beer, sweet tits. Cunt, whore, and anal bitch. Get me some wings, fucky. What's up, sweetie? Let's shake and bacon. Wow. 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 Those are the nicest tits I've seen. Sweetie, get me a beer. Come on, pumpkin. Yeah, now, cunt. What a nice set of titties, though. Holy smokes. Stupid whore face. Ma'am? Sugar tits. I like sugar tits. Sugar tits and candy pants. Oh, why don't you bring me a beer there, droopy drawers? Want to get me the condiments there on candy pants? 36C. Yeah, that's got to be at least 36C. No doubt that's 36C. Got to be 36C, 36D. What are you doing tomorrow? Yep, that's me.
Goddamn wheezy.
Funny.
So, yeah, there's been video out there of guys setting up chicks just to see what they're really interested in.
Right.
And as I said, the one that I saw recently on YouTube is that guy who set up a friend of his to act like a homeless guy, and then he doles out a bunch of money to him, and then the chick that wouldn't give him the time of day all of a sudden turns around, and then she's all interested.
Right. Dude, I see it a lot in the bars, man. I mean, I know I'm a fat dude, and nobody's giving me the time of day until I start throwing money around.
Right.
And once I start throwing money around in the bar, then they're all over there. Hey, can you get me a drink? What are you doing? Where do you live?
Sure, absolutely.
All the fucking time.
Yep.
Like, go away, or suck my cock.
Right.
One or the other.
All right. Anyway, getting back to this, the video, which was posted to YouTube Tuesday and viewed more than 100,000 times in a matter of hours,
all right,
shows that principally harmless comments can quickly escalate to, get this, scary, threatening states. Scary, threatening states.
And put on your burqa, you fucking bitch.
Right. The social experiment counted more than 100 incidences of verbal street harassment.
Right.
And involved people of all backgrounds.
Right.
Marketing agency Bob Bliss created the segment of Holla Holla, Holla, Holla Back, a campaign that aims to end street harassment. Here we go. Legislating behavior once again.
Let's do that.
Yeah, we got to legislate your behavior.
Mm-hmm.
And get this, it's a guy. So it's the whole white knight thing that Anthony and Joe Rogan were talking about last week.
Right. Yeah, it's the same thing.
In response, the video has reignited the debate over whether or not catcalling is gracious or troubling.
Or neither.
Yeah.
Or it just doesn't matter.
Yeah. Sometimes, as a woman, you want to walk home without men staring you down and saying, damn, and being rude to you if you don't thank them for it.
Yeah, sometimes as a guy, I like to go to dinner and not pay for it.
Right.
How about that? You're going to lobby for that too, you fucking neo-Nazi cunt?
I don't mind having a nice evening, but the rest were not necessary.
Shut up.
One that was echoed by many others. Others feel that the video is discriminatory. It says it depicts a diverse group of men, but only Latinos and blacks appear.
Okay.
An overall criticism of the relatively tame and kind of nice, mature catcalling. One man even asked, what are guys supposed to do to initiate a conversation if literally saying anything at all will always be considered harassment?
That's good. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's my question, and I guess she might have, or he might have, an ounce of truth to that.
Uh-huh.
When is the last time you were in a in a, I don't know, store or in any public environment and you catcalled a chick?
Never. I've never done that. I've never understood that. Even as a teenager, when I had friends who were riding around in cars or whatever, and they would drive down the street, and there's some girl walking along the sidewalk or whatever, and they go, "Woo, baby, woo!" I've never understood that.
Right.
I never could quite get what that was all about, because chicks most chicks don't respond to that. I mean, It's just like, oh, hey, there's a hot guy. Wow, he thinks I'm hot.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
I mean, I'm not going to say I never did it, because when I was 20 or whatever, I was 20 or whatever, I certainly did that. And, that kind of shit, like yelling out in cars and stuff like that. But the truth is, there was never any intent to even really talk to him. It was always just like, all right, I can't get that, so I'll just fuck with that a little bit.
Sure.
And that's really what it is most of the time. Nobody's saying, hey, baby, what's shaking? Thinking that she's going to come over and say, oh, well, let's talk. What's your name?
Right, exactly.
Nobody's doing that. They're just doing it because they're like, all right, hottie, you look all right.
Well, even John Mellencamp sings in a song called Play Guitar.
Yeah.
He goes, you got your eyes on that cheerleader queen and you're walking her home from school. You know that she's only 17 and you're going to be her fool. Now you can't touch that stuff without money or a brand new car.
About that macho shit.
Yeah, forget all about that macho shit and learn how to play guitar.
I know the tune.
Yeah. So, I mean, even in the song.
Yeah.
It's like you can't touch that without money and a brand new car.
Right, exactly.
That's just fact. That's just fact.
It is. It's the way it is. So you know what? You don't get to change the rules when you guys don't fucking change your side of it either.
Sure.
You all still want us to fucking be chivalrous. You want us opening your fucking doors. You want us paying for every fucking thing. Well, then fuck you. You're going to get some of that treatment back.
Right.
Because in the end, that's what you're about. We're about spending the money. I mean, we've done this 1,000 times. We're buying pussy.
Well, you're paying for the privilege, I guess.
You're buying pussy.
Yeah, that's true.
If you're in the market at all to date anybody, you're buying pussy. And I don't care who you are. I don't care. I'm sure there's girls out there that won't let a guy pay for anything, yet I've never met them. The ones I always end up meeting, believe you me, they want me paying for shit.
Right.
And I am always a few $100s deep into dinners before I'm fucking seeing some ass.
Sure.
That's just the way it goes.
Right.
So accept it on both sides. I accept it on my side. So if guys are fucking trolling you or whatever, just fucking accept it, because I guarantee the one that you do pick is spending a bunch of money to get into your pants. So fucking take the trade-off and shut up.
Right. All right. I don't know how well the audio from this video that I'm going to play is going to translate just from audio alone, but just imagine this girl, kind of like that little graphic that AOR just put in the chat room, walking down the street.
All right.
And guys calling to her.
All right.
All right. Okay, she's going to walk down the street.
How you doing today? Wow. That's not good.
Wow.
What's up, beautiful? Have a good day. Hey, what's up, girl? How you doing? Somebody's acknowledging you. Hey, beautiful. She said, hey, we Hey, baby. Hey, beautiful. How are you this morning?
Listen to all that harassment. How are you this morning?
Yeah, how you doing?
Yeah, hey, baby, how you doing this morning? Harassment!
Yeah, what is that? I mean, that guy was actually polite.
Yeah, he was just saying, hey, beautiful, smile.
Well, even before, not even that one. I mean, the one that just said, hey, how you doing this morning?
Yeah, harassment!
Where's the harassment in that?
Rape! Pig!
Yeah, where is that harassing?
That's harassment, man.
Fucking idiots.
I should be able to walk down the street and not be acknowledged.
Yeah, I mean, that's just fucking stupid crazy.
Yeah. So there's some more.
a nice evening.
Nice. Damn. Damn.
How beautiful. God bless. The sexy American Eagle. Hello, good morning. God bless you. Have a good day, all right?
Doing good?
Hey, look at that. It's $5,000.
I just saw $1,000.
It's great.
It's like a candy bar, $100,000 bar.
That's so good.
Yep. I mean, granted, she's a very shapely girl, and she's wearing very tight clothes, and she's just tripping down through the neighborhood there, and guys are just going, "Hey, what's up?"
Put on a fucking burqa. Nobody will be looking at you.
That's true.
I guarantee you these fucking burqa bitches, none of them are getting any cat calls.
Not at all.
Not a one. I'll bet you these burqa chicks could. I would love to see that experiment. Put on a fucking full set of clothes, cover your head, cover your hands, cover everything up like in a burqa.
And see if you get any cat calls.
See if anybody fucking says anything to you.
Right.
Guarantee you nobody will say a goddamn thing to you. They'll just hope you stay out of their zone.
True.
So that you don't blow up and kill them.
Exactly.
You want to talk? We can't be friends or nothing. We don't speak. If I give you my number, you can talk to me? No? Too ugly for you?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Nice evening, dog.
Hail and kill caller, you're on the air.
Well, as usual, I'm of two minds about this deal.
Okay. I would love to hear your input.
I bet you would. As I'm usually the devil's advocate on this show. Well, all right, we got... Okay, I get that it's kind of much ado about nothing. Nobody's... It's not like the guys are going, "Hey, baby, what's going on with you, baby? I want to stick my cock in between that titties and blow my balls over your face."
True.
No, nobody's doing that. But at the same time, I think guys don't really know what it's like to be propositioned or just have attention showered upon us for just being there.
That's true, because chicks don't do that because they can have their pick. And usually attractive women in general, they can pick and choose what they want. Guys,
Sure.
We're kind of left to our own devices. We have to go seek it out.
Unless we know, unless we're, a rock star or whatever, women don't fling themselves at us.
That is true.
So I don't know. It's not for me to say what's really offensive, but so far I haven't heard anything all that bad. But maybe you do just want to walk down the street unacknowledged.
So put on a burqa and you can.
There's some truth to that, Doghouse. I mean, if you truly, not you personally, but if a woman is truly doesn't want any attention at all, be as unattractive as possible.
Yeah. Hide yourself.
Wear a sweatshirt 3 sizes too big.
I mean, this girl walking down the street, she's wearing extremely tight pants, a very form-fitting shirt, long hair. She's an attractive girl, and she's walking in a very highly populated metropolitan area, be it New York City. New York City's kind of those.
What do you expect kind of deal?
Yeah, basically. But New York City has 10 million residents. You're going to get a certain segment of that population, saying, "Hey, what's up?" or "Hey, have a good day," or whatever it is. But if she were to walk downtown in small town America, I don't know, Valparaiso, Indiana, that isn't going to happen. The percentage of that happening, not so much. But she's in the biggest city in the U.S., walking on the most busiest streets. She's gonna get that.
Yeah, I suppose it's true, but I guess my reaction is kind of a reaction against the typical knee jerk of the anti-politically correct. Well, if something's politically correct, and it must be great, then I must defend it with everything. And it just depends on what's being said in the context of the circumstances. But so far, I haven't heard anything.
No, it doesn't, and I'm going to tell you exactly why it doesn't. Because
Okay.
I am under no obligation at all to not offend this woman. I have no legal obligation to not offend her with what I say, with what I throw at her verbally. I don't have any obligation at all to not do that. If I want to catcall, I can. That's part of
anything
life.
About laws.
Okay, well, if there's a law and I break it, then I pay the consequence for it.
But there isn't a law, and nobody's talking about making a law yet.
Okay, so then she should shut the fuck up. They don't need to do a study. The study doesn't mean anything because I'm allowed to fucking offend her.
But why would you? I mean,
why would I or why wouldn't I is not the point. The point is that she's saying that she's offended. Their point is that guys need to change. My point back is, no, we fucking don't, because we're not breaking any rules. Period. They need to just accept it. Just like we accept the point I was making before. Just like we regularly as guys accept the fact that we're just paying for shit. We accept that.
Okay, well,
fact.
I mean,
That's
you're
part
taking
of it.
that standard and applying it to any particular woman who might be catcalled.
Yes, I am. I'm applying it to every woman that would be catcalled. Because she doesn't have the right to tell me that I can't approach her any way I damn well please. Short of fucking groping her. If I don't touch her, she's got nothing to say.
But you're applying this thing where you're allowed to say what you want to her, and she can't say anything about it.
She can say whatever she wants about it. She could say whatever she
Okay.
wants to about it, but I am under no obligation to feel bad or change or do anything to accommodate her. And that's what these fucking feminazis all want, is guys to continually change and continually weaken until there's no fucking balls left at all. To where they're just fucking robots walking down the street with their head down so that they don't offend somebody.
Let's not get carried away here.
It is.
Well, Doghouse, I don't know how long you've been listening to the show tonight, but
since about 12.
Okay, well, I covered a couple of stories earlier tonight where a woman who was breastfeeding in a restaurant, basically whipping her boob out and feeding her kid, and some employee of the restaurant took a picture of her with his cell phone. She complained to restaurant management that this, employee took her picture. She called the police and she alerted the media. Okay? Well, the thing is that kid, whomever it was, did not break any laws. She was in public. She's whipping her boob out, and he took a picture of her. She's out there in public. She wasn't in the privacy of her own home. She has the right to breastfeed, but he doesn't. He has the right to take a picture if he wants to. She's out in the middle of the public. Same thing, we covered a story right after that where this woman has started a petition to tell Babies Are Us to pull the Kardashian clothesline for babies because she doesn't think it's appropriate for babies to be wearing a clothesline that's supported by the Kardashians because she thinks that they represent something bad. Well, again, it's up to everybody to make their own decisions, Now
that one I agree with. You don't like it, don't buy it.
That's exactly
right. You don't like what the store sells, go to a different store.
That's exactly right.
Okay, and if you don't like that guys are treating you in a certain way when you're out in public, then dress differently.
Okay.
It comes with the territory, more or less. And this idea that, well, This catcalling is out of control, and it should be stopped, and we should legislate people's behavior.
So far, what you read from the article is not so much legislating, but sort of trying to persuade people to make the decision on their own.
Well, but the thing is that, and it was a point that I made very early on before I even got into this, and I know you're probably not in the chat room, but AOR Rocks in the chat room, he brought up a lot of great, what do you call them, GIFs or whatever?
Graphics. Yeah, just graphics.
Yeah, graphics from cartoons from like 80 years ago. Right. And this goes way back to centuries of this. You know, it's just, that's how we're wired. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying that people should just go out there and, you know, try to be derogatory toward women or whatever, but it's just
because
how
you already said you don't quite get it either.
I don't get it, but that doesn't mean you can't do it. You know, I'm not one of the people who would do that, and I've seen it done, obviously. Most guys probably have. It's not my thing, but I can't say, dude, you can't do that, man. You're invading her personal space. You know? I mean, where does that whole whistle thing come from? Everybody knows the whistle. I mean, everybody knows that. That's just commonplace.
Hey, Tommy, check it out. Where boots where? Sure.
Exactly. Same thing.
Exact same thing.
So it is what it is. Just accept it and go on. Don't make a public issue about it. You're not going to stop it. You're not going to change human nature. It is what it is. Now, if you're going to try to pass a law and legislate that, that's ridiculous. You're going to go in jail for looking at that girl like that, or saying something to her like, "Good morning, hey, good looking."
But again, nobody's talking about passing laws against.
Well, according to this article, that's kind of where they're going. Like, we need to stop this. We need to put an end to this.
Well, like I say, it seems more like a gentle persuasion type thing at this point, and I don't.
Yeah, but
really,
but these,
despite all your apocalyptic fears, I can't see anybody passing a law.
So what you're saying, Doghouse, in your perception, I should just shut the fuck up until they try to make it a law. I should let them start working on people and start developing that attitude with people that will blindly listen to something like this and not argue against it until they start trying to legislate it.
So we're going for the slippery slope argument here.
No, that's your argument. Your argument is they're not trying to pass legislation, so it's fine that they're out there saying it, and it should go unopposed.
No, yours is the slippery slope argument because you're saying that this article and the general persuasion campaign will lead to legislation.
It could. You never know.
And we already had the appeal to tradition because, well, we've done it for centuries.
Okay. Did in your state, Doghouse, do they allow people to smoke in bars?
Depends on the town.
Okay. Well, I could tell you in Ohio they do not. And let me tell you how this law went. It started as a voluntary thing. It was a voluntary thing where there was an advertising campaign saying, you know, they want to clean it up and, you know, they want things to be voluntary. Well, that, of course, then turned into legislation. And then they outlawed smoking in all the bars. So the bars immediately lost money selling cigarettes and whatever in the bars. Then they took it one step further and said, now you can't smoke in any government buildings, you know, in any government facilities at all. Then they took it one step further to where now you can't smoke in any buildings other than your home in fucking downtown Cleveland. That's how it works.
There's beaches you can't smoke on in the state.
Yeah, but that's how it works.
Well, even like in La Jolla, California, they're even legislating that you can't even smoke in your own house.
Jesus.
Good luck with that.
But there's the zealots out there who push this kind of legislation, and somehow, some way, even in a little way, if they have a small victory, and Chris knows about small victories,
Yeah.
If they even get that, even if they get that toehold in there, it's I don't know. It's just a bad thing altogether. People are just apathetic when it comes to these kind of things, and slowly but surely, every one of our little bit of rights, as insignificant as they are being eroded away.
Look at how PC everybody is now. Why is that? Because we've slowly accepted, and it got accepted to where now it's out of control. If somebody would have in the beginning, when somebody tried to make a politically correct stance, would have said, "Hey, shut the fuck up," then we wouldn't have the problem today. And it is a problem today. Because everybody's offended about every motherfucking thing.
And that is one of the biggest reasons why the Classic Metal Show has never taken corporate sponsorship.
Yeah.
Because of the concern that, well, if we take corporate sponsorship, then somebody's going to have a say on the content that we discuss on the show.
That's right.
Long as the show remains free, nobody can censor anything that's said here.
Right.
Well, the whole stands against politically correct stances have been made and been told to shut the fuck up for hundreds of years. Whether it's, where they're just not saying you can't, temperance unions or thou shalt not swear in public or all this type of stuff, or it's only in the last 50 years that they've actually taken hold. So to say that no, but they've never been shouted down is inaccurate.
We're not saying that. We're not saying that at all. We're saying now it's out of control.
I don't know. I've heard the whole anti-politically correct argument so many times, has applied to so many different issues. I'm kind of numb to it, honestly, by this point.
But that's the ideology there is because it's ramrodded at you so often that people just get to the point of being apathetic about railing against it, because I've seen it. It's like a picture on a wall. You just, that picture's been hanging there for years, but you never stop to really look at it because it just becomes a fixture after a while.
Yeah.
No, I mean, arguments like what you guys are making have been applied so indiscriminately to so many different aspects of political correctness. And it's just, anytime I hear, someone railing against political correctness in general, it's just, yeah, I heard that before.
So you're one of those that they've got. If they get enough people like you that will just be like, well, and then they start legislating it, you'll fucking pull the wrong lever just because you don't want to hear the argument.
Not necessarily. I like to consider myself somewhat unpredictable.
Okay, but the average idiot, and I'm not saying you, but I'm saying the average person is an idiot that's not 1/10 as smart as you. They'll just get frustrated and they'll vote against you just because they're frustrated in hearing the argument.
Yeah, could be.
And that's how it works. They just wear you down. They wear people down.
But it works that way. It works both ways.
Usually the stuff that people yell and scream about does not look at how much fucking ranting and raving went on about Obamacare, and then it went through and passed anyway.
Yeah, it passed anyway, and it's still ranting and screaming and trying to get it overturned 16 times.
Yeah,
or however many.
I'd love to see it overturned, but the fact is, it's not going to be. It's just not going to be. Once they got it through, and they knew that, and that's why they just fucking drove it home. Didn't matter that most states had 70% against it. All that mattered was they got it through, and once they got it through, then fuck the rest of you.
But every election cycle we hear about how it's a referendum on Obamacare and all this stuff, and nothing ever changes. So maybe it's just not apathy or contrarian voting. Maybe you just don't have the numbers.
I don't agree at all. Dude, there's a million. I mean, if we're going to go down this road, I can simply point to the 6 years now that we're fucking past the if I get elected, I'll repeal the Patriot Act. Right before he fucking got elected and signed it back in for another 10 years.
Yeah. Well,
so, we could play that game all day long.
anything a candidate says before he gets elected, I tend to take with a grain of salt.
Yeah, but unfortunately, there's
like-
a certain segment of the population that actually are drawn in and believe that nonsense.
Right.
Well, fuck them. Like closing Guantanamo. Did anybody think that was ever going to actually happen?
Right.
Like, oh no, we're going to give them trials on U.S. soils. No state would take them. Fuck those guys. We don't want them in our state.
But
That is all, and I will leave you with a catcalling line, which I actually heard in downtown Baltimore one time. I nearly got the cock sniffles when I saw those big old titties. Fuck you, pal.
See you. All right.
The cock sniffles.
The cock sniffles.
I gotta remember that one.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'll have to use that in the grocery store or something.
Sure. All right. There's a video that's been circulating online since Tuesday, and it frames itself like this. A woman walks around New York City for 10 hours with a camera, secretly recording as she gets street called 100 times. Okay, 100 men out of how many in 10 hours in New York City? How many thousands of people do you think she walked by?
Oh, I'd say, a good 3 or 4 guys.
Yeah. So she was catcalled 100 times in 10 hours. That's just 10 in an hour.
Right.
Over how many people do you think she walked by in the streets of New York City?
50,000?
At least.
Yeah.
So this is a very minimal amount.
Right.
Percentage-wise.
Mm-hmm.
The woman who does the walking, Shoshana Roberts, most of the men who street harass,
right,
call out and follow her are black and Latino.
Okay.
Noticeably absent from this video, white men.
Of course.
Here we go. It's something a lot of people noted. The racial politics of the video are fucked up, the author Roxanne Gay commented.
Okay.
Like she didn't walk through any white neighborhoods.
Right.
The one dude who turns around and says, nice, is white. But the guy who does the most egregious things, like the one who harangues her, I didn't see any haranguing.
Harangues her. Hey, have a nice day, sweetheart.
Yeah. Somebody acknowledging you for being beautiful, you should say thank you and more. Or the one who follows her down the street too closely for 5 whole minutes are not. Catcalling has always been an uncomfortable feminist issue because of the class and race dynamics involved.
Okay.
Let's see here. And that's much more difficult conversation to have than the straightforward one of, look at this woman being harassed, walking down the street. She's being harassed.
Right.
Let's see. Akiba Salam at, boy, I can't even pronounce these names.
Akiba Salam?
Akiba, A-K-I-B-A.
Jeez, oh man! Is there a picture of this guy, and does his foot have a fuse on it?
At caller lines echoed both Gay and Rosen's concerns, but also pointed out, albeit a little tentatively, the video characterizes all of the men's behavior as the same. So, hello, a demand for gratitude and following the woman all carry the same weight.
There's truth to that.
So a guy saying hello to her and a guy following her and trying to talk to her, they're all the same.
Right.
The video was created by an anti-harassment organization, Holla Back, and Rob Bliss Creative, an ad agency. Okay. Rosen says that Bliss apologized on Reddit in a post that's now deleted for editing out white men. Bliss wrote, we got a fair amount of white guys, but for whatever reason, a lot of what they said was in passing or off camera. They're Houdini-like.
Right.
They were there, but we just didn't catch them.
Okay, so now this has been turned into a racist
It's a
issue.
racial thing because now it's the Latino guys and the black guys who are the harassers.
Right. So clearly that's what we're saying too, is that white guys are right, and this is really just another instance where the black man and the Latino are knocked down.
Well, they're shed in a poor light.
Shut up.
Because they're out there being beastily approaching this woman and harassing her
Okay.
and just blowing loads of cum on her.
All right. Thanks for playing. Once you go to the racial angle, I'm officially done
Right.
even considering your argument.
Right. That's why Bliss said he had to edit them out. So he edited out all the white guys because they somehow just didn't follow this chick, or they were off camera too much, and there was really no sense in even including them because somehow they were out of focus.
Okay. Yeah, that's convenient.
This isn't the first time Bliss's work had some troubling portrayals of brown folks.
Brown folks?
That's what it says, brown folks.
Okay.
When he created a promotional video for Grand Rapids, Michigan, Bliss reportedly minimized the city's sizable minority population.
Okay.
So basically, by trying to show that Grand Rapids was sort of like a white haven,
Yeah.
it was to attract the white folk, because then they don't have to be scared because there's too many brown folk in the picture.
Do you think that these people that are complaining about all this shit, do you think that they realize that they actually make people hate against their own race more?
I think that's what it is.
But do you think that they realize it?
No, they don't.
Do you think that they're truly trying to make a valid point, or do you think that they sit back and they secretly are like, this will really get the white guys hating the black guys today?
I don't think they think that at all.
But that is the truth.
Well, I think it all always boils down to money.
Yeah.
Just like that example that they just gave about the promotional video for Grand Rapids.
Right.
What do you think the message is there?
That Grand Rapids is a whitey tidy town.
Basically, yes. So, and traditionally, that the whites are the ones with the money.
Right.
So we want to attract as much whites here without being concerned that there's too many darkies here to be concerned with.
No shit.
That's
Jeez.
basically what they're trying to say.
I would just like to say to queef corned beef, that is the most disgusting photo I've ever seen.
I know.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. It said that Holla Back issued this statement about Bliss in the New York video.
Yeah.
We regret the unintended racial bias in the editing of the video that overrepresents men of color. It overrepresents them.
All I hear about this is another false apology.
Although we appreciate Rob's support, we are committed to showing the complete picture. It is our hope and intention that this video will be the start of... Here we go, Doghouse. This will be the start of a series to demonstrate that the type of harassment we are concerned about is directed toward women of all races and ethnicities and conducted by an equally diverse population of men. So men are scum.
Yeah, pretty much.
Men are shit. I'm sick of being a man. I'm so offended.
I'm pro-woman at this point.
Right. The organization also tweeted that Roberts has received death and rape threats since appearing in the video, something that's happened to many women who speak out about harassment. The Daily Show's Jessica Williams explored this in her segment, The Feminist Atmosphere. In it, she shows her commute to work and gets catcalled by various dudes.
Okay.
She also talks to a room full of women who've experienced their fair share of street harassment. Right. Williams' big point is that street harassment is ubiquitous, and it's impossible for women to know how to respond.
Mm-hmm.
Respond like you always do. Just walk away and pretend you never heard it.
Yeah, you don't have to react to every person.
Unless, of course, the guy is flashing a whole wad of money.
Yeah.
Then you can respond.
Mm-hmm. Then it's like, hey, baby.
Exactly. A funny take on the holla back video makes white dudes and white people in general much more visible. In Funny or Die, 10 hours of walking in New York City as a man, a white guy roams the streets and gets offered jobs, high fives, and even an invite to participate in a drum circle. When we think about Hollaback's mission to end street harassment, the how part presents a pretty large question mark. On its website, the organization asks folks to share their stories about harassment in the hopes that these tales will redefine safety in your community.
Right.
It will inspire, here we go, Doghouse. It will inspire legislators, those are the people who make the laws,
right,
the police, and other authorities to take this issue seriously.
Whatever.
To approach it with sensitivity and create policies, i.e. laws, that make everyone feel safe.
In 10 hours, how many times was this woman grabbed?
Never.
How many times was she thrown into a car and driven away?
Never.
How many times was she raped?
None.
How many times did somebody come up and put chloroform over her face and make her pass out and drag her
None that
over?
I know of.
Okay, so she's safe. There's no safety issue here. She walked around for 10 fucking hours. There's no safety issue. None.
Right.
Ugh.
But as you notice, they included legislators, the police, everybody to enforce laws and behavior. Take this seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know who had laws like that? The Nazis.
Right.
They had all kinds of laws about what you could and couldn't say.
Sure.
How'd that work out?
Exactly. All right. And one last caveat to this whole thing.
Okay.
Saturday Night Live star Michael Che, I think that's how you say his name, C-H-E.
Yeah, he's a star, so much so that neither one of us knows who he is.
Yeah, I don't watch Saturday Night Live because I do the show on Saturday.
Right.
Won't apologize for catcall comments in a bizarre Twitter rant.
Okay.
He won't apologize.
Good. Good on him.
NBC's Weekend Update anchor continues dishing out sarcasm after mocking the viral sexual harassment video.
Good.
Saturday Night Live's newly anointed Weekend Update anchor Michael Che made headlines this week over his sarcastic comments in response to a viral sexual harassment video.
Okay.
Instead of apologizing after he came under fire on social media, the NBC comedian lashed out a series of bizarre tweets on other subjects, including race, cats, and white celebrities.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Just one time, I'd like a white lady that took my cab to say, "No, he was first. Go ahead and take it," Chi tweeted Thursday. I wouldn't even take it, but I just appreciate it.
Sure.
All right. Chi's original incendiary comments was a response to the now famous catcall video, which depicted a woman named Sasha B. Roberts being subjected to unwanted sexual attention on the streets of New York.
Right.
Sexual attention. Yeah, it was sexual intention by saying, "Hey, baby.
Yeah, have a nice day."
Yeah. The Hollaback produced documentary and social experiment hit the internet on Wednesday and already has 18 million views. I want to apologize to all the women that I've harassed with statements like, "Hi, have a nice day," or "You're beautiful." Chi wrote on his Facebook after watching the video, "I can't imagine what that must feel like."
I like him.
Despite how this innocuous comments may seem out of context, the video shows that Roberts to be clearly disturbed by the constant stream of sexual harassment she encountered. Constant stream, 110 hours?
What liberal publication are you reading this out of?
This is actually on The Wrap.
Okay.
And she soon faced backlash from publications and fans alike after seemingly making light of her experience by comparing it to his own. I can't imagine what that must feel like, he continued. The closest thing I've experienced to it maybe when a girl recognizes me from TV and they say things like, oh my God, SNL. Take a picture. I love you so much. What's your name again? Thank you. Wait and say something funny. But even that is nothing like the harassment of having a complete stranger tell me, smile. The comedian and television personality has since taken that comment down, but his bizarre Twitter mussings haven't slowed.
Good.
Hail and kill, caller. You're on the air.
Now here, they use the word sexual, 3 times in the last paragraph?
Sexual harassment.
Now this is where I start agreeing with you guys, because calling what we saw in that video, and obviously, thank God we didn't watch all 10 hours of it, but there's nothing sexual there, and it kind of cheapens actual sexual harassment, which was in the those good old days of the 50s and 60s was rampant in the American workplace.
Well, again, she walked the streets for 10 hours. Not one person grabbed her tit. Not one person smacked her ass. Not one person swept her off into an alleyway and tried to kiss her.
Well, nobody even said, as far as we know, nobody even said anything about her tits.
Well, first of all, if that would have happened, that would have been highlighted in the video. Anything that was ridiculously bad would have been highlighted.
We would hope, yeah.
Just judging from the way that this thing is portrayed out there. They're portraying it as how bad it is. They would have certainly highlighted the worst of the worst. I'm sure that's what they did.
And just calling all that, the hi, how you doing, and even this stuff that's, the obvious undressing with the eyes, and just calling that sexual harassment is just, it just cheapens the experience of anybody who's, say, I don't know, been fired because they wouldn't suck the boss's dick or something like that, or because they complained about the nudie calendars all over the office or some shit like that.
Yeah, this is embarrassing. It really is.
It's people that can't separate. It's people that can't analyze stuff, and they think all things in the same category are of equal severity. You know what I mean?
Well, that's one of the points that they made in that article is that, a simple hi is just as bad as following the girl down the street for 2 or 3 minutes trying to talk to her when she is clearly ignoring you.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I mean, I just wish people were able to differentiate a little bit more, and that goes for everybody.
Well, I think most people can, but when you got these people who are able to grab the ear of the media and get their grievances posted out there or distributed on a big platform, then it makes everybody look like an idiot.
But guess what? Probably a month from now, 2 weeks from now, definitely by the end of the year, nobody's going to be talking about it.
You're absolutely right. But, these things go in cycles. They last 2 or 3 days, and then it's on to the next thing.
It's even faster now.
Yeah? Oh, yeah.
That's one reason nothing ever gets done, because there's always something new tomorrow to get excited about,
sure.
Good or bad.
Well, one of the reasons that I enjoy bringing this kind of stuff to the show, and I know that we have a core audience, you being one of them, my only thought and hope in general is that the people who even stop to listen to our nonsense and our silliness will actually take it to heart and think about it and go, you know what? God damn it, those guys are right. I hope I'm never like that kind of person, and maybe even spread that a little bit.
And just our discussions that we have on the show. You know, we don't arrive at the same. We don't arrive at the conclusion the same way, but we usually end up agreeing on basic core things. And
that's all I could hope for. I'm willing to do this show 6 hours on a Saturday, and hopefully the people who listen to this will go, you know what? I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like the Joe Schmo out there. I hope somebody might learn from this and maybe, impart that on their friends or family or whomever they come in contact with, because I'm sick of it, to be honest with you.
So my final word on it, this topic anyway, is just the same way saying hi to somebody isn't the same as grabbing her tit. Just because some piss-pot public relations company got a bunch of hits on YouTube this week doesn't mean that tomorrow we're all going to have to stare at our shoes when we walk down the street.
Right.
Everybody on both sides, just take a step back and chill the fuck out, as Heavy Metal Dad would say.
Exactly.
There's just so much fucking hysteria in the world over everything.
Which is why I'm trying to bring that to light tonight.
All right, then. Fair enough.
Hail and kill. All right. So there he goes. All right, just a couple quick tweets here, and then we'll get into something else.
All right.
Michael Che or Chi or Chai or however you say his name.
Mm-hmm.
I think some of you are misunderstanding the post. I'm simply just making fun of something that is important to a lot of people.
Right.
So you white celebrities are just going to sit there and not say the N-word? Next post. And fuck cats.
What the hell does that mean?
He just was throwing shit out there for no apparent reason.
It's hilarious.
Chi thinks, pretty amazing. You trivialized women's struggles and came off as a pompous douche. Way to make it about you being famous. And that's it.
Ugh, people suck.
I know.
That's what I'm learning tonight, that people suck.
They do.
I hate them all.
All right. Well, we got about an hour and 15 minutes, and I'm going to wrap this thing up with some racial stuff.
All right. Okay.
That's always a hot topic in the chat room, yeah?
Yeah, it always is. So is this where we're going to do that one I sent?
Yeah, we're going to do the one you sent, and I got these other things, and then that podcast that you sent, and that'll wrap up the show.
Oh, yeah. That's plenty.
Yep. More than plenty.
Yep.
All right. Well, do you have a song I could play, sir?
How about if we go with the last tune? I forget what it's called. It's like Ready for something on No Respect from Vane.
Oh, okay. Let's go with some Davey Vane here.
Yeah, it's the last tune, and it's fast.
All right.
I can't think of what it's called, though.
I will tell you here. It is called Ready?
Yeah.
Ready.
Ready for love. Ready. Yeah.
That's the one, huh?
It's the one, yeah.
All right. Well, we'll do some Vane, maybe one other song. We'll come back, and we'll wrap up the show with some racial stuff.
All right. Sounds good.
Some other ignorant racial tinge stuff.
Perfect.
All right. Well, here's Davey Vane from Vane exclusively here
on your classic metal show.